Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is another translation of a dars given in Ramzan by Imam Rashed Sahib. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. In the month of Ramadan, the virtues and the good deeds that are undertaken and that are performed, we are speaking of them with regards to the traditions of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. In this regard, some more traditions are going to be presented today, which let us know that while fasting we should take care of many other good deeds, because all of those are a part of the worship in the month of Ramadan. In the first tradition, Hazrat Khalid bin Judniye Raziyallahu Anhu reported that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, the companion's name was Hazrat Zaid. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said that the person who opens the fast of another person, then he gets the same amount of reward as the person as if he fasted himself. In yesterday's hadith we mentioned this as well, that the person who opens someone's fast gets reward as well. In this there is further detail of that tradition. So if someone provides someone with food, etc., to open their fast, then he gets the same amount of reward as if he is fasted himself. And some may wonder whether it reduces one's own reward if one opens someone else's fast and one has an equal reward. Then does it reduce one's reward? This question may arise in someone's mind. So this tradition explains to us that, remember, if you open someone else's fast, then you will get an equal sawab as if you yourself fasted, but it will not reduce your own reward in the eyes of Allah. So it's a great virtue to invite someone and to arrange for food, for iftar, for opening the fast for them, and it is as if one fasted oneself. So one should remember, Imam Sahib is saying that it should not include too many formalities, and sometimes one may try to show off, etc. And that should not be the case. Simplicity will give the maximum reward. In this regard, there is another tradition in which Hazrat Abu Hurairah Zanho related that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, Imam Sahib is introducing Hazrat Abu Hurairah Zanho and saying that he is the companion who has narrated the most number of ahadith, and it's a great glory and a great status of Hazrat Abu Hurairah Zanho that all the time that he could get during the lifetime of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he made sure that he stayed near him and he heard him, and then he remembered what the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, and then he narrated it with extreme care and attention. So this means that Abu Hurairah Anhu was one of the companions who did a great service to Islam. So the tradition continues, and it says that which it contains a great and incredible glad tidings in it, which says that the person who fulfills the obligations of Ramzan, who wakes up at night to offer prayers, and he fulfills other good deeds, then Allah gives him the glad tidings that all his sins are forgiven. Imam Sahib is saying that Huzur in a sermon he mentioned a great he spoke about the good deeds that one should perform in Ramzan, and one should continuously perform self-analysis and see what ills and what sins one commits, and one should try to remove them. And if one does this during the month of Ramzan, then Allah forgives all of his sins. So this is a promise from Allah that the Holy Prophet ﷺ conveyed to us, and it is definitely a true promise. So it is our responsibility that, especially in the month of Ramzan, we should, in every way, we should increase our standard of worship. We should wake up at night, offer Tahajjud prayer, and during the day we should offer optional prayers and recite the Holy Quran, not just with the words, but we should understand what we are reciting, and all the things that we have been instructed to do and those we have been instructed to abstain from, we should make note of that, and we should keep away from false utterances, and do good things and be kind and loving to people. So it's a long list, and if we perform all of these good deeds, and in particular the waking up at night, if a person spends his Ramzan in this manner, then it's a promise, it's an incredible promise from the Holy Prophet ﷺ that Allah will forgive them. So we should also pray with reference to this, that, oh Allah, we are trying our best as much as we can, and then we should then pray that, oh Allah, according to your promise, please forgive us. Before mentioning another tradition, Imam Sahib said that he wanted to say something, that in a previous Friday sermon, Huzur mentioned a very beautiful term. He's saying that all of Huzur's Friday sermons are extremely meaningful, but this one particular term he used was in particular very worth remembering. So Huzur said that the month of Ramazan is a time for sowing the seeds of virtue. So just as when we sow a seed, we wish and we hope that is going to become a productive a plant. So this is how we should behave in the month of Ramazan. We should sow the seeds of all types of virtue, which would then flourish afterwards. And it is a time to root out all sins completely to one's ability. In the next tradition which Imam Sahib wishes to present, he said that another companion said that my beloved said this. He referred to the Holy Prophet ﷺ in his as my beloved friend. This companion mentioned says the Holy, instead of saying the Holy Prophet ﷺ said this, he added another word, and he said, "O Sani Habibi," that my beloved Muhammad Mustafa ﷺ instructed me to do this. There were three things. The first is that, and he said that for as long as I remember, I will never abandon those three instructions. And the first of these is that in every month you should fast for 3 days. So if we do this for 3 days, then this is an optional fast, and if you multiply it with the number of months, then that's 36 fasts. And then if you multiply it with 10, because every virtue is given 10 times the reward, so it is as if the person has fasted for the whole year. So this is the first instruction the Holy Prophet ﷺ gave him. And the next is the offering of the prayer after the sun rises. So at that time, optional prayer performed is an instruction given to him by the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and he said that he would act in accordance with it. And then he said that the third thing that the Holy Prophet ﷺ told him was that he shouldn't sleep unless he offers his witr prayer. The witr prayer can be offered after tahajjud as well, and that is a very good time to do it. But just to be sure, if one offers the witr prayer before sleeping, then one can be rid of any doubt that whether one will be able to perform it on time or not. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ told Hazrat Abu Darda that he should make sure that he offers it before he goes to sleep, because you should remember that if one does not offer witr prayer, then one's Isha prayer isn't completed, because it's a part of Isha prayer. If you do it at night, then it's obviously good, but it is a better time to do it at night. But for this companion, the Holy Prophet ﷺ told him to make sure he offers it at night. So these are different doors of goodness, and these are the time for sowing the seeds of virtue and goodness. So all of the virtues that we hear about, we should try to offer, and we should accomplish. And we do not know which of them Allah may accept out of His mercy, and which of them He may reward our efforts many times over. May Allah enable us to do this. Ameen, summa ameen.